Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, down. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, down, down.
What? Sorry, just quickly. What if it's
Da da da, da da da, down, down, down. Da da da, 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 down, down, down. Show me easy, show me party. I'll be what you want, and it's physical. Keep it spinning. Show me what you want. Show me easy, show me party. I'll be what you want, and it's physical. Keep it spinning. Show me what you want. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, down, down. Da da da, da da da, da da da, down, 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 down. Da da da. Down, 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 down. Show me easy, show me party. I'll be what you want, and it's physical. Keep it spinning. Show me what you want.
I don't need you. I don't need you anymore. No, I won't be waiting. No, I'll be waiting at your door. I don't need you. I don't need you anymore. No, I won't be waiting. No, I'll be waiting at your door. I don't need you. I don't need you anymore. No, I won't be waiting. No, I'll be waiting at your door.
changed between you and I was so apprehensive, but I don't know why. Baby, I'm ready for you to be by my side, by my side. The stars burn bright, everything has changed between you and I was so apprehensive, but I don't know why. Baby, I'm ready for you to be by my side, by my side. Ready for your love, 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 ready for your love.
You're everything I need, everything, everything I need. You're everything I need, everything, everything I need. You're everything I need, everything, everything I need. You're everything I need, everything, everything I need.
De ruiters verkennen de omloop, dames en heren, van de derde finale van vandaag. Our third final today will be the final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth for Young Riders. De derde finale competitie hier op de slotdag, op de culminatie van het Aaslof Force Events van de finales van de landenprijzen voor de jeugd. Combinaties. Teams are walking the course set by Henk Linders, Marco de Jong en Christophe Stevens for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for the Young Riders 2024. De finale, the final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Young Riders 2020 voor de arena. Die wordt druk gevuld door breinen die aan het werken zijn, die aan het analyseren zijn, de omloop, aan het verkennen zijn van Henk Linders en zijn ploeg voor dit finale stuk. Parcours van de finale voor de Young Riders. Bestaande uit 12 hindernissen en 15 sprongen. De gebruikte snelheid van de combinaties is 375 meter per minuut. We have a total of 12 obstacles and 15 efforts in this course set by Henry Linders and his team. The speed required in the first round is 375 meters per minute. A double combination, a triple combination, an open water fence, een driesprong, een dubbele combinatie, het open water. Ook opnieuw geïntegreerd in het parcours, open waterhindernis, waar tevens een internationaal jurylid zal bijstaan. En dit is de test, dit is het vraagstuk voor de finale, voor de beslissing, voor de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders 2024. De beslissing tussen winst en verlies. Het zijn de beste teams van de voorbije kwalificatiecompetities. The best teams from the previous qualifying competitions are going to battle it out. Team Oostenrijk, Team Austria, Team Belgium, Team België als tweede, Team VS, the United States, Team Great Britain, Groot-Brittannië als vierde ploeg, Team Italië, Team Italy. Then we have Team Switzerland, La Suisse, Team Zwitserland, de zesde ploeg, de zes beste ploegen van de kwalificatieronde van donderdag en vrijdag. The six best teams, all starting from scratch in the final today. They're all starting from scratch. Our best teams, six best teams from the qualifying rounds on Thursday and Friday. Austria, Belgium, United States, Great Britain, Italy and Switzerland in pole position. This is going to be the final. This is going to be the ultimate decision in the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Young Riders, the final 2024. The finale, the grand final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Young Riders 2024. Dit is de beslissing tussen de winst en verlies. Met Team Oostenrijk, Team België, Team VS, Team Groot-Brittannië, Italië en Zwitserland. Our six best teams from the qualifying competitions on Thursday and Friday, starting from scratch in this final. Ze starten met een 0 score in deze finale. Austria, Belgium, United States, Great Britain, Italy and Switzerland. Finale van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup voor Young Riders 2024. De toegestaande tijd in deze omloop van Klinders en zijn ploeg is 72 seconden. Time out of 72 seconds. Le temps accordé est 72 seconden. Toegestaan is 72 seconden. Welcome to Hazel of Forge Events here in Lier for the final day of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final 2024. It is with great enthusiasm that we look forward to discovering the future generation of athletes display their talent and team spirit in children, junior, young rider and pony finals today. 9 qualifiers during the season and 2 qualifying competitions on Thursday and Friday have paved the road for the best youth teams to battle it out for national glory in the finals. Teamwork and the unique bonds each athlete has established with their horse will be key to bringing home the victory. Youth is a heartbeat of our sport, and series such as the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth represent a unique opportunity for our rising stars to gain standing and can open the doors to future representation on the international senior circuit. It is thanks to the continuous efforts of organizers such as Mike Hazebroek and his team, as well as all the volunteers, officials and sponsors, that we are able to keep our sport moving forward. To all the nations present here, the athletes, their families and support, we wish you a fantastic final day and the best of luck during the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders 2024.
Well, welcome along, everybody. It is the second of our 3 big finals here. This is a season-ending event for the youth of the sport, and the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals live with you here on FEI TV. Delighted to have you with us here in Ezelhof in Lier in Belgium. Already today, we've seen the Netherlands stand on top of the podium in the children's category. We've seen Great Britain once again on top with the ponies. But who now will come out on top in the young riders? To come a little later, we'll bring you live coverage of the juniors. But it is now the 6 teams that have qualified for this final. We've seen some tremendous sport over the course of days 1 and 2, the qualifying competitions. The top 6 from there qualified for the final. It all resets to 0 though now. It's a level playing field with them coming back in reverse order of performance as to how they've done. So Austria, Belgium, the USA, Great Britain, Italy and Switzerland. But we do start with Belgium because the Austrian team is a team of 3. So Mathieu Goury leading the line once again, as he did so well at the Europeans this year, with Kalak de Simerol the first to go for Team Belgium. $1.40 this track. Seen some excellent course designing from Dutch designer Henk Linders this week. On the 4, coming round down this line of the combination. 1 stride parallel, 2 strides quite short coming out. And then again, really having to sit back. Look at the plankers. Very tall, very solid. And It is just the four for the first out for Belgium in this final. Matthew Guri and Kulak Simaro. So, as I say, we'll bring Austria into play with that second rotation of riders. After Belgium, we're going to move now to the United States, the USA, who have flown teams here for both the juniors and for the young riders. And starting with Mia Baganento riding here with Valio Skill Big Bucks. Part of the gold medal winning team and part of the, well, herself an individual silver medalist at the North American Young Rider Championships at the start of August. So four strides down to the wall. 6 after the wall to that parallel in double with the upright out. On the 4 so far. USA, who jumped so well here on the opening day, they all went clear. They struggled a little bit more on the second day, finishing on a team total of 15, which is still enough to get them through, but it was certainly a tougher course on day 2. And they're going to finish just inside the time allowed of 72 seconds. So 71.25, it is the 8 then for the first of Team USA. So, next up, 3 more teams to come forward in this first rotation: Great Britain, Italy, and Switzerland. Therefore, it is now to Great Britain. Tabitha Carl leading the line once again, stepping up into young riders here this week for a rider that's played a key role over the last few years as part of the youth teams, has been hugely successful, and of course a multi-medalist as well at children's and juniors, part of the bronze children's medal winning team both this year and last year. She's also twice been on a bronze medal winning team in the children's category. So this is Destiny. Jumped clear on the opening day, but did have a fence down yesterday. Oh, actually, sorry, take that back. If I can remember correctly, she picked up 4 time penalties yesterday. It wasn't a fence. They haven't actually had a fence down yet this week. The time allowed in the second qualifier was that little bit more influential than on day 1. Again, the time today looking just about spot on. Both the first 2 horses going round in 71 seconds for that 72 second time allowed. Sadly, that is a fence going down, as does the last part of the treble combination there for Tabitha Carl. Final line. Time penalties coming her way as well. So it's a score of 9 for the first of the British team. Unfortunately, there Tabitha and Destiny, of the 3 scores we've got, that's the highest so far. So, of course, Austria we haven't seen yet. They're at the disadvantage of having to count all their scores. The British will now have to rely a little bit more on the final 3. But now it is Italy. Martina Ferrari and Alonco Hero Z. jumped for a single time penalty to help the Italians to the top of the board yesterday, which was great for them. She had 4 on day 1. The Italians on the first qualifying competition were down in 8th after that. Found their way to the top yesterday in that, or in the day before yesterday, in the second qualifier. So, a Lonco Hero Z. Another that has played a role in several championships over the years. Finished in the top 10 individually back in 2018 in the children's category, has ridden in ponies, juniors, young riders and children Europeans. But that goes to same rules apply as with the others in terms of only if there is a tie on faults for the win after this round, then there would be a jump off, and that jump off would involve all the riders. But if it's one outright in this round, there is no jump off, and if there's any equal faults outside of for first place, it's worked out with the counting times. Well, we saw Belgium get round for 4. Just in on the clock, judged to perfection from Martina Ferrari, as they, in terms of time, get it right, but there is that 1 fence and 4 penalty score there for the first for Italy. So one more team in the round, Switzerland. You have to keep Cornelia Knotts, putting Geraldine Stroman at the top of the order once more as their pathfinder. Picked up 4 yesterday, but led the line with a clear round on day 1. Rode Long John Silver at the Europeans this year. Former team silver medal winner on Silver Surfer back in 2021 in Portugal and the Junior Europeans. This is Exxon de Carmel, Z, Geraldine Stroman. To a good start, nice little rhythm going, but this combination, I'm fascinated with the into the combination. The reason being is because the middle part goes down, the course designer, the way he's set it, he's given them such a long run. It's sort of almost halfway back down the arena again from the fence previous. You consider where you sort of land up after the water over 7, and then it is a really long run back past the ingate all the way around till you get to that combination. And that requires being able just to balance the horse up, pick the stride. You don't want to lose too much time. Now, I know that said clear, it should say 4, and it has adjusted, so it is a 4 penalty score there for the first of the Swiss team. So, we are off and running. We might know where we've started, but we've yet to find out where we finish, and at the moment, everybody could still finish on a 0 score if the remaining riders in their teams go clear. But a clear round is something that's missing at the moment. I haven't seen one yet. Belgium, Italy and the Swiss all picked up a score of 4, the USA 8 and Great Britain 9 from their opening riders. And of course we didn't have an opening rider for Austria because they only have 3. So now we move into the second rotation. Austria come into play with Thomas Hillemar, jumped clear for the team in that second qualifier. Carlo Anco, who had jump for the team over the past couple of days, dropping out today, which is why they just have that 3-rider team. Smooth so far. Round they come back to the water. This is what I mean from here. Look how long it is. I mean, you're coming all the way back around the corner, and then it's not like you come off the corner and it's there. You've got quite, another 4 strides before you actually get to the start of the combination. I just think that makes it more difficult. Well, difficult or not, at the moment, Thomas is doing everything that you need from a first rider to go, even more so when it is a team of 3 and all the scores are going to count, because if you can make them count like that, you know you're on to a very good thing indeed. Thomas, well done. Clear round for Austria to start proceedings off. You'll always be nervous for that team without the discard, but Thomas Hinemeyer has done his part and given them a clear. So we'll see how that pans out for Ulrich Kischkloss's team of 3. Next up is Philip Lucas's team from Belgium, the home team, of course. Belgium, who got onto the podium in the ponies a little bit earlier on today, having won the Children's Challenge Cup yesterday. Belgium, who started with Matthew Gary's score of 4, now bring forward Evelyn Putters as the next to go, riding Oberon VDH. Twice a team gold medalist at Europeans in 2021 in the juniors and in 2022 at the juniors, and then this year she also took a team bronze medal with Oberon in the young riders. Previously taken a bronze medal in the children's category, but has medalled in all 3 youth categories outside of ponies, including an individual bronze in 2022. Here with then her European ride from this year, Oberon VDH. These two turned in a brilliant clear round on day 1. They ran into all sorts of problems yesterday, but so far it's problem free here today. Well, middle part of the combination falling. So that brings the 4 onto the scoreboard, but it is still just a 4 they're holding as a discard, keeping it as low as they can for Belgium. So just the 1 clear coming from the Austrian rider a short moment ago from Thomas, but Evelyn there finishing with 1 fence down. So we'll wait and see what happens with Vic and Bart, who will be the next 2 out for Belgium. Meanwhile, the next to go is for the USA, who have started already with an 8 penalty score from Mia, now with Laurel Walker riding Armani as the second in Anna Krinsky's team. As I said, the US team had such a good start with that runner clears on the opening day, struggled more the following day. These two in fact picked up 4 yesterday, or in the second qualifier. Another part of medals, both at junior and at young rider levels in the North American Championships over the past few years. Laurel Walker here with Armani. back around to the water. Now you've got to really sit back. Delicate little fence. You can see at the end of that line, it's one of those really gentle planks. You barely need to touch them. Unfortunately, touching the first part of that rail in the middle of the combi. So the USA also moving on to a score of 4, just like Belgium, as a best potential outcome at the moment. Still a long way to go, but it is 4 at the moment for the USA. They keep the 8 as the discard. But it means for the moment they are level with the team from Belgium. So the USA there with an 8 and a 4. So we'll see what Hunter and Stephanie can do in due course. They are with 3 gone, 3 to go in this second run of riders. The next up has said 9 from Great Britain's first rider. That was Tabitha Carl, who had 2 down and a time penalty. Next to go is Glenn Watkins Jones. Jump for 4 on the opening day. Missed out on the team on the second qualifier, but brought back in by chef d'equipe Claire Whitaker for the final. So this is La Vie Est Droit. These two finished 4th in the Young Rider Grand Prix together in Zidovic back in April. Also on the Nations Cup team there to help the team to 2nd place. But that will count. So for the moment at least, Great Britain and Belgium, USA all on 4. So the British team can't afford another one yet. One more fence to keep it to 4. And in on the clock. So the best of the 2 rounds for the British coming so far from Glenn Watkins Jones. Tabitha Carl being held as a discard score there on a total of 9, keeping Great Britain in line with the USA and with Belgium with scores after 2 riders. Next to go will be the Italian team. Of course, they have also had 4 from their opening rider, but will be hoping now for a clear so that they could yet finish on a 0 score. Always trying to keep it in your own hands, not relying on others to make mistakes to help you. You need to make your own luck and take your own advantage. This is Tommaso Arica next to go. Riding here with Heavy Plot. Well for the team in Linz this year. These two who also competed here at the finals 12 months ago. Their second qualifier, they picked up 2 time penalties, but that was all. They left the fences standing, and they also jumped clear on the first day. Just want to be a bit careful of the time today, because again, it's absolutely fine, but you haven't got a huge amount of space, and they just got all deep and they just couldn't quite stretch the distance. So sadly that back rail goes down, and 4 becomes the score for Italy. It really is all level at the moment, because those are the best potential outcomes now for 4 teams. You're going to run the time close. Surely they're going to run the time. They're not going to get there. 72 seconds. Just can't see it. And the last fence falls to add to the score, and it becomes 8 for jumping, 3 for time. That for the Italians is a score of 11, which will be held as a discard for the moment. Tommaso Arica there for Italy. So, as I mentioned, Italy, Great Britain, USA and Belgium, best outcome available to those 4 teams is currently 4. We shouldn't forget that Austria could yet still finish on 0, despite the fact they only have a team of 3. But now to Switzerland, who started with a 4 from Geraldine Sturman. Now they have Jonas Kifano riding Cana 5. These two had a lovely win last month in Zurich and Dusseldorf in one of the jumping classes there. They run the team in Linz, also putting in good rounds on teams throughout the course of last year. They were on the winning team last year as well in Zurich. Clear round now would certainly give the Swiss an advantage. They've jumped clear and 4 in the qualifiers. Double again. Reaching a little bit too much coming out. And there we have it, at the halfway mark. We're going to have 5 of the 6 teams all tied level with a best potential outcome of 4. They may all hold differing discards, but it actually will mean the Austrian team going into the final 2 riders is in the lead. As the Austrians are still the only team that could yet finish on 0. Just one more fence to jump, and if they clear that, it is confirmed at 4. Decent in terms of time as well. That could become an advantageous a little later if you don't end up in a battle for the win. So, there we have it for Jonas Tiffinard. Belgium and the Swiss both with 2 4s. USA holding a discard of 8, Great Britain a discard of 9, and Italy a discard of 11. But like I said, Austria, this team of 3, has started off with that clear from Thomas Hillenmeyer. Now it's Antonia Wixelbron riding Chalabet 3. Clear round on day 1, 4 on day 2 in the qualifiers. And the clear round now would keep Austria very much in contention, because actually they'd be able, if they got 2 clears, this and the next, they'd win it. They couldn't be beaten by anyone else. Couldn't even get forced into a jump off. But that is a lot to ask over what is proving to be quite a testing track that has actually only seen 1 clear round. Gets out of that double though that's caught out a few at 5A. Well, what about this? They're storming along, aren't they? Clear round, Antonia. Certainly adds to the pressure to Lena Binder, who's going to be the last to go for the Austrian team, because Lena will know when she comes in, whatever the situation is, if she can jump a clear, Austria are going to win it. That's the position they put themselves in. It's perfection so far.
Voor Mathieu Gerifo, for Evelyn, and this is now Vic de Plekker. This is his ride, his third ride. Ellipso, derde combinatie voor Team België, Vic de Plekker.
Well, here we go with Belgium and Vic de Plekker. All these teams will know they desperately need to hold to a 4, because they will be hoping Austria have a fence, at which point suddenly it comes to a potential jump off between the rest of them. And Belgium here with Ilfasio. Back we come to the water. Certainly showing the form they did in the second qualifier above the form from the first qualifier. Unfortunately, the final part of the combination goes down, and Belgium now move on to an 8 penalty score for their best potential outcome. And that for the score for Vic de Plekker, it does mean, though, 12 would be the worst potential outcome, but that's not what they're looking towards. They'll be hoping to stick with the 8 there for Belgium. But it does open the window a little bit more for Austria to stay ahead with their final round, because it gives them a clear fence. They could have a fence down and still be ahead of Belgium without being forced into a jump-off situation with them. Will that story continue with the remaining horses in this third rotation? We will see, because next to go, the next of those teams also, as we know, on a score of 4 is a best outcome, but holding a discard of 8, it is the USA. So this is their third rider in the lineup. It is Hunter Champney riding here with High Hopes SFN. Another team gold medal winner from the North American Championships this year in the Young Riders. Ooh, horse just backed off on her a little bit coming around that corner. Rode that well. Doesn't let it break the balance too much. Lovely striding through the double. Well, she's been double clear in the 2 qualifying competitions. My bigger concern at the moment, more than the fences, is going to be the time, because 72 seconds is going to be awfully tight. If she goes over the 72, she'll pick up a time penalty. She's in by 6/100ths of a second. What do I know? Absolutely brilliantly judged, Hunter. Well done. Clear round for the USA, and they are keeping the pressure on Austria and the teams around them. She has delivered once more. 3 clears from 3 rounds this week for the American, and it is certainly keeping them in the hunt here at these FEI Jumping Youth Nations Cup finals. The USA can still finish on a score of 4. So next up, Great Britain, and that round for the USA has put the pressure on Britain, Italy and Switzerland now, because they have to get a clear to keep up the pace with the Americans. Of course, Austria have got the overall advantage, knowing that they can still jump a clear to win it in the next rotation of riders. But to big, really important round now for the British team to stay in this contest and be ready to try and put a bit of pressure on those still to come. They need a clear from Kira Stout and KI Context. But in some cracking rounds over the course of the summer, jumping alongside the global tour, now stepping into a British team position. Smart bit of riding so far. Again, the time's going to get awfully tight. Time's going to get very tight, but she's still clear in terms of the fences with one left to jump. She's cleared it and also is just in under the pressure and delivering for Great Britain. Kira Stout jumps clear to keep Britain in the hunt as well. So that's certainly saving their best round for today for those two. Well done to Kira and KI Context. So repeating what the USA do, they can keep Tabitha Carr's score as a discard, and Kira Stout has done a brilliant job to keep Britain's hopes alive. So now it's Italy's turn to do the same thing, because as I say, we started this third rotation of riders with these 5 teams tied on a best potential outcome of 4. Having seen 3 of the 5, there's 2 of them could still do that. Italy hold a discard of 11. Now it's Davide Vitali riding Leicester for Italy. Jump for 4 on day 1, picked up a time penalty, but was clear over the fences in the second qualifier. Well, so far so good. He's got the combination riding quite aggressively down to that fence, and it's gone. So the Italians now will be on a best outcome of 8. They can't afford another one because that would suddenly count as well. Safe on the clock for the score, and they, like Belgium, move on to a best potential outcome of 8. Of course, the Italians, they're holding a much larger discard score, so we'll see what happens. Those discards they'll hope not to need to use. So, 8 the best outcome available to Italy, as it is for Belgium. 4 is the best outcome available to the USA and Great Britain. Don't forget, Austria can still end up with a clear and win it before the others jump their final riders. But to know where we stand going into the final rotation, we need to understand what happens here with Switzerland. 2 4s so far, meaning their best outcome available is a 4 as well. Cornelia Knotts bringing now Kira Alissi and Kia 35 into the line as the next to go. Another combination that's had a good couple of days jumping, especially in that second qualifier when they were clear. And again, similar boat to what we've been saying. They need, and they haven't got it because the first fence has gone down. Well, that will put them on a best outcome of 8 because of the discard they're currently holding is a 4. But keeping it to the 4, at least if they do that, it'll keep them in a position, in one respect, that's better off than the likes of the USA and Great Britain that have got bigger discards. So 4 it is, and that makes 8 for the team. So with one rider left to go in each of the teams, if their remaining riders were to go clear, Austria would be able to finish on 0. USA and Great Britain could finish on 4, and Belgium, Italy and Switzerland could all finish on 8. So 2 fences between all of them. But as we know, next up will be the 3rd rider for Austria, because this team of 3 have delivered 2 clears so far from Thomas Hillemer and Antonia Wixelbrand. Ulrich Christoph has Lena Binder as the last to go on Selena. She will know the permutation is relatively simple, because as it is a team of 3, all their scores are having to count. So it could go one way or the other. But of course, a clear round wins it for Austria. She could even jump clear for 3 time, and still it would be Austria's day. But if she has a fence down, they're going to have to wait and see what happens with the USA and Great Britain, who could then perhaps see it into a jump-off situation. Of course, if she has 2 or 3 fences down, it could put Austria completely out of the equation. This is huge. Fence has gone, and it counts. So at the moment, it brings them level with the USA and Great Britain. Sadly, as we know, they're all counting, and that 8 is very costly. They're still going to have to wait and see what happens with the others before they know exactly where they stand. There are plenty more permutations that will be available to Austria, but ultimately it will no longer be in their own hands as it was until that point. So there we go. It all changes just like that now. Of course, Belgium, if they were to jump clear with their next rider, as with Italy and Switzerland, could also finish on an 8 penalty score. Then we'll be looking at the clock. But then suddenly we could also see the USA and Great Britain having a fence each down, and then we have all of these teams on 8, and they're all coming back in another round at a jump-off. What about that for a set of circumstances? Which is possible, if not slightly unlikely, but it is possible. Let's see how this works out. Simply put, 8 for Austria. Belgium go next. The worst score they could end up on would be a 12 because they're holding a 4 penalty discard. Good luck to their final rider. It is Bart J. Jr. van der Kasteel and Vamos de la Pomme d'Or Z as the last to go. Clear in the opening qualifier, and then picked up 2 time penalties in the second qualifier. It's really simple. They need a clear. They needed a clear, and so far they've got one. Wow, under pressure and delivering for Belgium to keep them level on that 8. It's their first clear round, Belgium, and Barjay Jr. making sure there is still a glimmer of hope here for the team from Belgium. So, Belgium on 8, Austria on 8. Now, to the two most important rounds in this rotation, in this final rotation. First for the USA, then for Great Britain. These two teams have it in their own hands to either win it outright or to, of course, if they both go clear, force a jump off between the two of them. If they both had a fence down, it would certainly bring Austria and Belgium at the very least into a jump off situation. If they have two fences down, well, they will both fall behind Austria and Belgium. Stephanie Garrett knows the simplicity of the numbers. It's needed to be a clear, and then they can sit and watch the US. The US can sit and watch Great Britain, because they'll then know if the British have a fence down and the USA have gone clear, it's the USA's day. Here with Darius to KZZ, and it's gone. So the USA now need to keep it to 4 so that they could potentially force a jump off with Austria, Belgium, and perhaps others. It also now opens the door to the British team being able to jump a clear to win it. Sadly, that counts as well, and that will just drop them out of contention. They will finish on 12 today, the USA. Really bad luck. They've been such a great part of the drama. Lands and finishes on the 12. It'll be the discarded score as they finish on 12 as a team. Bad luck to Stephanie and to the team from the USA as they drop into 6th place as it all stands. So, 3 riders left to go. This could still end up being a jump off for the win at the moment, with Austria and Belgium tied on 8, with Italy and Switzerland able to finish on 8. They could all tie up together. But there is one other team that could yet jump a clear right now and win it with this round. Pressure once again is very much on, because it's now the turn of Great Britain's Jennifer Billington. Jennifer riding Flipperdarko has had 2 clears so far. This ride that has taken her to the Junior Europeans and to the Young Rider Europeans this year. She finished in 12th in those Europeans this summer, individually. Britain with the pony win already. But it has to be clear, or with a maximum. And this doesn't matter now anyway, she's had the fence down. Now she's got to keep it to 4, because Britain hold a discard at 9. If she can keep it to 4, Britain can go into a jump-off situation to try and win it, with at least Austria and Belgium. But we are now guaranteed a jump-off for this title. Certainly have the confidence riding down after the water. Doesn't look like her easiest round. The time penalties are going to take the jump-off chance away, though. It ends up being 10, and the discard score, they have to bring Tabitha's 9 in. And it moves them onto a score of 13, and therefore it drops them into last place. And, of course, taking them away from the opportunity of being in the jump-off with that late fence going down. The last falling as well. So it all has, unfortunately, gone from the chance of winning it for Great Britain, in the end, falling into 6th place. Austria and Belgium, the only two teams we know that definitely get a jump off. But, of course, Italy and Switzerland have a chance to join them. But to do that, they need to be clear. Pressure's still on, all the way on these final riders. It is, as it should be, in a Nations Cup, coming down to these last riders. So here we go with Martina Siamoni and Alvaro 2 for the Italians. They have got that 11 fault discard, but at the moment they don't want to think about finishing 3rd or 4th or 5th. They want to be in the jump off to try and win it. They didn't need to call upon them in the first qualifier. They picked up 12 in the second qualifier. But so far in the final, they're doing what they need to do, which is go clear. For reference, they cannot afford a time penalty. And they'll be fine on the time. They've just got to get over the last fence. We've got 3 teams so far going into the jump-off round because the Italians have forced the issue as well. They finish on that score of 8 with that clear round delivered from their final rider, Martina Siaroni. Well done, Italy, Austria, Belgium and Italy. Now, the top 3, we know they will potentially fill. Could be the top 4. But we'll see what happens in a minute with the Swiss. But we've definitely got 3 teams through to a jump-off. So the Swiss team, again, similar boat for them. Can't afford a time penalty, can't afford a fault in any way, shape or form. If they are going to go through and make it 4 teams in the jump-off. The last to go in this round for the Swiss is Linus Hanselmann riding here with SPJ Linaro SH. Try and bring it over the line. This combination, though, that did score 12 yesterday, or in the second qualifier, sorry, but were clear in the first qualifier. So they've certainly got it in them this week. Can Switzerland get into the jump-off? Linus Hanselmann, die Schweiz. Need to be a little careful here. You can see how the horse is just playing a little bit with the head, and that's gone. So it won't be the jump off for the Swiss. We know the top 3 teams are going to be Austria, Belgium and Italy. We don't know the order, but we know they will, between those 3, stand on the podium. And the jump off will decide. Belgium, who've won the Young Riders title here twice in the past. The Swiss had won it back in 2018. It's not to be this year. Sweden, the defending champions, sadly didn't even get through to the final. They were in the Challenge Cup yesterday. For the score, as they crossed the line to finish on 12, which is the same score as the USA, but it'll be Switzerland that take 4th on time ahead of the USA 5th and Great Britain in 6th. So 3 teams, Belgium, Austria and Italy, are going to go into the jump-off round against the clock. All 4 riders with 1, of course, again, available as a discard. It will be the best 3 of 4. So the course going to get set, and then we will get things underway here very shortly to find out who is going to be the Young Rider Champions of 2024.
Everything set and ready for the jump off, the ultimate decision in the FEI Jumping Nations Cup final for young riders. We maken ons dus klaar voor de barrage. We're getting everything set and ready for the jump off. And all the riders, the entire teams, will come back for the jump off. So it's Team Austria, it's Team Belgium, and it is Team Italy. Thomas Himmelmaya, Antonia Waikse-Brown, Lena Binder voor Austria, Mathieu Guéry, Evelyn Putters, Fik de Plekker en Barche Junior van de Kastelen voor Team Belgium. And Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Arica, Davide Vitale and Martina Simoni for Team Italy. So all these riders will come back for the jump-off. Al die deelnemers komen dus terug voor de barrage. En dezelfde logica, hetzelfde formaat van competitie wordt toegepast. So the same logic, one scratch result per team will be used. The same logic will count as well in the jump-off of this FEI Jumping Nations Cup final for young riders. Al die deelnemers komen dus terug liever in de barrage. Team Oostenrijk, Team België en Team Italië.
In the morning when I
kan u ook meegeven dat de finale van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup voor junioren, dat die een half uurtje later start. So we'll start with the Nations Cup final for juniors half an hour later than scheduled. So at 4:30 we'll kick off for the final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for juniors. Half uurtje later dus dan aanvankelijk gepland. De barrage, de beslissing jump-off of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders 2024. And they all start from scratch. Ze starten allemaal opnieuw op de nul, carte blanche, alles is mogelijk. Team Austria, with Thomas Himmelmeijer, Antonia Weichsel-Brown, Lena Binda. Team Belgium, Mathieu Guéry, Evelyn Putters, Vic de Plekker en Bartje Junior van de Kastelen. En Team Italy with Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Suarica, Davide Vitale and Martina Simone. So all the teams, once again, they start from scratch in the jump-off. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. It's all to fight for in the jump-off of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for young riders. De barrage van de finale van de landenprijs voor de Young Riders. Over hindernissen 1, 2, 3, 7, 8B, 8C, 9 en 11. So the jump-off round of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders. We'll start on fence number 1, down the line to 2. Then we go to fence number 3, the Belgian Oxer, to 7. Then to 8B, 8C, the two last elements of the triple combination of the SFX group from the first round. Then to 9, the Oxer back there at our short public terrace. And then finishing on fence 11 in the center of the arena, the Oxer with the minions. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8B, 8C, 9 and 11. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8B, 8C, 9 en 11. De hindernissen in de barrage. Welcome to Asel of Forge events here in Lier for the final day of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final 2024. It is with great enthusiasm that we look forward to discovering the future generation of athletes display their talent and team spirit in the children, juniors, young riders and ponies finals today. 9 qualifiers during the season and 2 qualifying competitions on Thursday and Friday have paved the road for the best youth teams to battle it out for national glory in the finals. Teamwork and the unique bond each athlete has established with their horse will be key to bringing home the victory. Youth is a heartbeat of our sport. When series such as the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth represent a unique opportunity for our rising stars to gain standing and can open the doors to future representation on the international senior circuit. It is thanks to the continuous efforts of organizers such as Mike Hazenbroek and his team, as well as all the volunteers, officials and sponsors, that we are able to keep our sport moving forward. To all the athletes, nations and their families present here, we wish you a fantastic final day and the best of luck in the jump off of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for young riders, with the 3 teams coming forward. The 3 teams all starting from scratch. Austria, Belgium and Italy. De beslissing tussen winst en verlies in de barrage van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final voor Young Riders. Austria, Thomas Himmelmaier, Antonia Weichselbraun en Lena Binda. Team Belgium with Mathieu Guéry, Evelyn Putters, Vic de Plekker en Bartje Junior van de Kastelen. En Team Italy with Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Arica, Davide Vitale and Martina Simoni, who will be crowned champion of the 2024 FEI Jumping Nations Cup Young Rider Final here in Lier. Austria, Belgium and Italy in the ultimate battle.
Well, here we go. Welcome back and welcome along. If you're tuning in, you have tuned in at the right moment for these young riders at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for 2024. Live with you on FEI TV for what has turned into a 3-team finale over this shortened course. Austria, Belgium and Italy. We have these 3 teams that are going to battle it out for the top step of the podium. They all know they're on the podium. What order, we do not know. Just to remind you again, the Austrian team, though, have a team of 3. Hasn't really stopped them today because they had 2 clears and an 8 to push their way into the jump-off. But it does mean all their scores count. It also means, therefore, we start here with Belgium. Of course, the other teams have the advantage of a discard still. We're looking, combining the best scores with their times over the 3. 1, 2, 3, the same fences as they had. They then roll back to 7 before then coming down to 2 parts of what was the combination, the second 2 parts, on to 9, and then round to 11. Here we go, Matthew Gurry. Out to set some sort of pace. Look how quick he is. He's leaning forward and flying. Michalak to Simonol. It's a fine balance between pace and precision. Lovely turn. And inside the podium. Belgium looking to try and win this for the 3rd time in the Young Riders. They last won it in 2022. Now turning into what is the last. Well, what a brilliant start for Belgium that is. Well done, Matthew. Matthew and his ride, Kalak, setting the clear in under 40 seconds, 39.86, setting the standard rather nicely indeed. So for the moment, yes, it's discarded, but it'll probably most likely be quite a useful score, not only for the clear, but for the time. Sub 40 seconds is what we're looking for quick times. That is pretty obvious from what we've just seen. But the faster you go, the more risks you're going to take. The next up, it is the turn of the Italians. She certainly has the surname. Can she find the pace and the accuracy? Martina Ferrari and Alonco Hero Z. Gets the inside turn as well. Now we're moving. She's not going to be as quick, but she'll know the clear is as important as anything. Matthew was so quick across the floor. Coming to the last, she has so far left them all standing. Just this last to clear. 45.19. So brilliant in terms of the jumping as she delivers the clear round, Martina Ferrari and Alonco Hero Z. But when you look at the time, that is, well, nearly 5.5 seconds slower than Matthew, and that could have a big impact. But we're only just getting started. We have 3 riders to go now with each team because Austria will come into play with the next to go. Thomas Hirnemeyer, who set them off and running with that lovely clear here today in that opening round. Now back with Papillon d'Azur to try and set things up in this jump-off round for the Austrian team. I think when it comes to the time, Mathieu Goury is going to take a lot of beating. He certainly pushed the limit with that round. I think that's probably the order. Be clear if you can, but be fast. Coming down towards the last. Well, can't ask for more than that. They've all started with clear rounds. Well done. Thomas Hilemier also clear. So that final time of 46.28, slowest of 3, but that's the way it works. It's about adding the times now together that will make the difference. So Thomas's time, Thomas is clear, 46.28. Next, it is the second of the riders for Belgium. This then is Evelien Putters riding Oberon VDH. Belgium really hoping to try and recapture this title here at home. So off and running, Evelyn Pitters. Trying to make this an even stronger performance from Belgium. Brilliant turn as well. What a lovely stride to meet that upright on the angle. 40.50 has basically matched Matthew's time, but certainly matches the round as well with the clear. Belgium are really pushing on here because 2 clears and 2 quite brilliant times compared to the others we've seen so far. It'll be interesting to see what the Italians do next up, but I mean, yeah, that's 5 and 6 second differences. We'll see, but it is very much going Belgium's way with 2 superb jumping performances. Now the turn of Italy once more with Tommaso Arica and Heavy Plot coming our way next. As I say, clear from Martina Ferrari. It's very tight, in all fairness, between the Austrians and the Italians in terms of time, but there is still jumping faults that could be picked up. The inside turn, rolls around the corner, really nice. I think will probably be a little bit faster than Martina, but I'm not sure they're going to be fast or as fast as the Belgian riders. The Belgian riders will have crossed the line already. Nicely done though, leave them up. That comes first, clear around 44.31, so a little bit faster than his teammate, but it is clear, and 2 clears for the Italians is certainly what they needed. So strong scores so far, and we've now seen the first 2 from the teams. But next up it'll be Austria as we go back to where we start. Thomas Sillemeier has done a fabulous job leading the line for Ulrich Krischkoff's team. Now it's Antonia Wixelbron riding Chalabet 3. Nobody yet has faltered in this jump off. Again, you can just see the difference on the approach, that bit wider. Antonia knowing the importance of the clear. For the score, sadly 1 down, but it could get via discard. 45.21 was a little bit faster. It can't be a discard because they're a team of 3. Apologies. Antonia then 4 for Austria. Leaving just Lina Binder to go. So moves the advantage over to Italy and Belgium. So now we will have the next up for Belgium. They can put the 0 score to bed for the jump off with this round. It's going to be Victor Plequier riding Gilfcio. go. Trying to put in a third clear round for Belgium. If it's around that 40-second margin, that'll be 3 very strong times. Twisting and turning, finding those inside lines, coming down to the double. Still clear. What about that? Belgium. 43.68, just a fraction slower from Vic, but it is clear as well. So 3 out of 3, the 0 score is confirmed. It'll be interesting whether they feel they need to jump their last horse and rider combination. I'm sure they will. Need to, but they probably will do. Meanwhile, we have the Italians next. Davide Di Vitali riding Leicester. So Leicester and David will need to really pick up the pace here to try and cut back in to those leading fast times we've seen from Matthew Gurry and Evelyn Peters for Belgium. Off we go. Big moment for the Italians. Davide and Leicester. Of course, with 2 clears, they can still get a clear from the final rider to help them. Going really well at the moment, it's just not going to be fast enough. Well, they finish with a clear 42.71 on the clock for the Italian team there. It's actually their fastest time. So we will have to see what happens with their third and final rider, because there has been a change for Tommaso Erika there for Italy. So the pressure for the clear goes to Martina. Now we have Austria. Linevinda as the last of the team, a team that can best now 4 as a score in this jump-off. So Lena now turning back on the corner, keeping the fences standing first, then, oh, nicely done, twisting in the air. Round we go, left-handed, 2 fences to jump. This to guarantee a 4 penalty score for Austria. And that they've done. 42.65 is the final time. 42.65 for Austria. So for the moment, we know they're guaranteed 3rd place. I'm not sure it can be much different to that, but Well done to Austria, for Thomas D'Antonia and to Lina, along with their referee Ulrich Krzyszkow.
Eindigt Team Oostenrijk met 4 punten. Team Austria is finishing in this jump off of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup final with 4 penalties. And this is now.
Are we ready?
Vamos de la
Are they there?
Zets.
I'm sure there's a few bits, probably some maths going on at the moment to work out what's going on. Bart J. Jr. van der Kasteel anchors the team for Belgium once again. Has already done that with a clear round today. Now looking to do it again in the jump off with another, which would of course mean that the team itself in this jump off are on and continue on their 0 score.
Dus dit is de finale beslissing, het publiek. Bart J. Jr. van de Kastelen die besluit om niet de start.
Bart J. Jr. has retired, so that, and I don't see how the Italians can match the time anyway. 124.04. They do have to go clear. 124.04 minus 87.90. They would have to go around this course in 36.13 seconds with a clear. And I remind you, Matthew's time was 39.86, and that looked quick. You'd have to find 3 more seconds on that. 3.5 more seconds. It's not possible, really, is it, in terms of time? Because there's been an elimination in the Italian team to obviously score for third properly and get that result in. Get on the turns. Well, they certainly tried. 44.52. They jumped the clear. They guaranteed themselves second place to have the Italians. Well done, Martina Ciaroni, as Italy, in the end, finish in the runners-up position. And it is Belgium once more for the second time since 2018, and for the third time since 2018, and the second time in 2 years. Belgium win this title. Well done, Matthew Gurry, Evelyn Pitters, Victor Plekier, and Bart J. Jr. van der Kasteel, along with Philip Lucas, the chef de keep. The home team win here in Lier. Italy, congratulations on second place. A very solid result for Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Arica, Davide Vittelli, and Martina Simoni. And I think full marks to Austria. Team of 3 had no wiggle room today and still found their way into the jump off. And their names, just to confirm, well done to Thomas Sillemeier, to Antonio Witzelbraun, Lina Binder, and their chef to keep, Ulrich Krzyszkow. Wow, what a day! What competition! Still the juniors to come in around 40 minutes or so live here on FEI TV. But it is Belgium, Italy, Austria that will stand on the podium, and it is Belgium that will stand on top. Well done again. In the Young Riders, so far today, 3 nations have won 3 different titles. Who's going to win the 4th? We'll find out in 45 minutes' time.
Dames en heren, ladies and gentlemen, the prize giving of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders 2024. De huldiging van de finale voor de Young Riders 2024. Wat een ontknoping, wat een barrage, what an incredible sport. And we are going to honor our champions. A prize giving ceremony of the FEI Nations Cup Final for Young Riders, with our winning team coming forward. We gaan ze eren, we gaan ze huldigen, dames en heren, in de prijsuitreiking met de winnende equipe. The prize giving of the Young Rider Final, Team Belgium. Dames en heren, ladies and gentlemen, what a competition, what a final, the final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Young Riders here at Aaslof Horse Events. Het is een prijsuitreiking, deze huldiging met een podium. It is a podium presentation, ladies and gentlemen, as we're gonna go from bronze to silver to gold. Ending in third place. Op het bronzen schavot vandaag de bronzen medaille. De derde plaats in third. The team with the chef d'équipe Uri Kirkov en Thomas Himmelmaier. Antonia Waxelbram, Lena Binda en Carla Wanko in third. Team Austria. Team Oostenrijk. Oostenrijk in third place. Open tweede positie in a beautiful second position in today's FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders. The team with chef d'équipe Marco Bergomi and the following riders: Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Arica, Davide Vitale, Martina Simone, Vittoria Scaglamiglio. It is Team Italy Italia. Maar, de winnaars van de 2024 FEI Jumping Nations Cup finale voor Young Riders. Het team met bondscoach Fury Blackus en Mathieu Guéry, Evelyn Putters, Vic de Plekker, Bartje Junior van de Kastelen met Leon Brutsaert, Team België! Wat een moment! What a moment! What a moment! Ladies and gentlemen, it is a prize giving of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final. Can I kindly ask you to be upstanding for the national anthem of the winning country for Belgium? Mag ik u vragen, geacht publiek, om met z'n allen te gaan staan voor het nationale volkslied van het winnende land in de finale van de landenprijs voor de Young Riders for Belgium. Riders, can I kindly ask you to face the flag on our big screen for the Belgian national anthem. België, Team Belgium, the champions of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for Young Riders. Het is een genoegen om de heer René Biardon te mogen uitnodigen. Vertegenwoordiger van de FEI, vertegenwoordiger van de Fédération Équestre Internationale. The FEI representative René Biardon is stepping forward to congratulate our podium. Team Austria in third place with Thomas Himmelmeier, Antonia Waixel-Brown, Lena Bende and Carla Wanko and chef d'équipe Ulrike Kirchhoff. Italy in second with bondscoach Marco Bergomi and Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Arica, Davide Vitale, Martina Simone en Vittoria Scoglamiglio als vijfde man in ons winnende team. Ze ontvangen de trofee van de heer René Biardon als FEI representative. Team België, Mathieu Guéry, Evelyn Putters, Vic de Plekker, Bartje Junior van de Kastelen en Leon Brutsaert met chef d'équipe Philippe Lacus. Dan nodig ik heel graag de leden van het organiserend comité uit. I would like to invite the members of the organizing committee to step forward. The organizing committee of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals 2024. The Haasbroek family is with us. Mike, Lotte, Maxime en Matthias are stepping forward as well. Zij treden naar voren, de leden van het organiserend comité van deze finale van de landenprijzen voor de jeugd. Feliciteren Team Oostenrijk, Team Italië en uiteraard Team België. Want wat een moment, what a moment in this 2024 FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final for our young riders. Then it's time for a beautiful picture moment, een mooi fotomoment met de FEI representative, de heer René Biardon en de leden van het organiserend comité, the members of the organizing committee as well, next to our podium. And there is our winning team, ons winnende team, Team België. Then I would like to ask Team Austria and Team Italy to take their places back in the saddle. We gaan de plaatsen terug innemen in de zadels. Team Italië, Team Italy and Team Austria are going to return to their horses. And then it's time for... Kijk die flessen eens gaan, kijk die flessen eens gaan. Then it's time for our champagne moment, our champagne shower. En zij hebben er ervaring mee, zij hebben er ervaring mee, geloof me. prachtig moment. Champagne moment in huldiging van de finale van de landenprijs. Wat een ontknoping, wat een beslissing in deze FEI Jumping Nations Cup finale voor Young Riders. Brons voor Team Oostenrijk. Met Thomas Himmelmaier, met Antonia Waaksobram, Lena Bende en Carla Wanko in third Team Austria. Team Italy in second, with Martina Ferrari, Tommaso Arica, Davide Vitale, Martina Simone, Vittoria Scaglamiglio. En our winning team, het winnende team in de finale van de landenprijs voor de Young Riders, geacht publiek. De Belgische tricolore. Want we zijn klaar om deze huldiging te besluiten. Met de meer dan verdiende ereronde. Time for the more than deserved lap of honor, ladies and gentlemen. Third for Austria, second for Italy. But our winning team leading the way. België op kop in de ereronde. Chef de Kip Fury Blacus en Mathieu Guéry, Evelyn Pudders, Vic de Plekker, Bartje Junior van de Kastelen en Leon Brutsaert. Team België! Our winning team, ladies and gentlemen, Team Belgium. Second for Team Italy, Italië. And Oostenrijk, Austria in third place. Maar nog één keer met z'n allen, Team België, de champions. Wauw, wauw, wauw. Wat een moment. Wat een FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final voor Young Riders 2024. Wij tomen ons op de hoofdarena voor de laatste finale van vandaag. We're getting everything set and ready for the last final, ladies and gentlemen. The final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Juniors 2024. We zijn bij terug om 16:30 at 4:30. We're back on track with our closing class of this 2024 FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals. We maken ons dus helemaal op, dames en heren, voor de ontknoping van de CSIO FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final voor de junioren hier op het Aanslof Horse Events. Fijn dat u weer bij ons bent. Fijn dat u weer present tekent.
wide to infinity. You know the roof on fire. We go boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire. We go drink drinks and take shots until we fall out like the roof on fire. Now, baby, get my booty naked, take off all your clothes and light the roof on fire. Tell him, baby, 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 I'm on fire. I tell her, baby, 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 I'm a fireball. I saw, I came, I conquered, or should I say I saw, I conquered, I came. This little chico on fire, ain't no lie. Well, y'all still
talking about everybody getting crunk, crunk. Boys try to touch my junk, junk. Gonna smack him if he getting too drunk, drunk. Nah, nah, we go until they kick us out, out. The police shut us down, down. Police shut us down, down. Po, shut us down. Don't stop, make it pop. DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop. No.
arena werd officieel geopend ter verkenning. Course is officially opened for inspection, ladies and gentlemen, for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Junior Final 2024. De arena werd officieel geopend ter verkenning voor de finale van de Nations Cup Junior, aangeboden door de FEI, door de Fédération Équestre Internationale.
I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have two hands. Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. Wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. So wake me up when
Welcome to Aselo for events here in Lier for the final day of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final 2024. It is with great enthusiasm that we look forward to discovering the future generation of athletes display their talent and team spirit in the children, juniors, young riders and ponies finals today. 9 qualifiers during the season and 2 qualifying competitions on Thursday and Friday have paved the road for the best new teams to battle it out for national glory in the finals. Teamwork and the unique bond each athlete has established with their horse will be key to bringing home the victory. Youth is a heartbeat of our sport, and series such as the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth represents a unique opportunity for our rising stars to gain standing and can open the doors to future representation on the international senior circuits. The FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final. It is thanks to the continuous efforts of organizers such as Mike Hazenbroek and his team, as well as all the volunteers, officials and sponsors, that we are able to keep our sport moving forward. To all the nations present here, the athletes, their families and support systems, we wish you a fantastic day and the best of luck during the final of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Juniors 2024. De laatste finale van vandaag, dames en heren. De finale van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup voor junioren 2024 hier op de ontknoping. De finale stukken die dit jaar worden verreden en worden beslecht op het Azelhof Horse Events. The final competition of this culmination. The culmination of the 2024 FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals at Azelhof Horse Events. Glad to have you with us. Fijn dat u bij ons bent. Wat op belooft nog de zender, de finale voor de junioren 2024. De finale van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Youth. De ontknoping van de landenprijzen voor de jeugd gaat publiek. De finale competitie voor de junioren die komt eraan binnen een 15 minuten. Is het zover, dan krijgen we de beslissing tussen winst en verlies. Hetzelfde formaat, dezelfde structuur. Dat is ontknoping voor de children en ontknoping voor de young riders. Geldt ook hier bij onze junioren. Grand final coming up of the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Juniors 2024. The 6 best teams With the same format, the same structure as we saw in Nations Cup final for young riders and the Nations Cup final for children, also is adaptable to this clause for our junior riders. Betekent dat de 6 beste teams van de eerste kwalificatieronde van donderdag en vrijdag hier aan de start komen, maar wel starten met een 0 score. Our 6 best teams from the first and second qualifying competition are starting from scratch. Die starten met een 0 score. Anything's possible. All scenarios are possible. Heel wat is er mogelijk, want ze starten dus met de foutloze leider. All starting from scratch. United States, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Ireland, Belgium en Sweden. Verenigde Staten, Nederland, Tsjechië, Ierland, België en Zweden in de strijd. En anything's possible. Alles is mogelijk, want ze starten dus met die 0 score. The American team with Clara Propp, Avery Griffin, Alexa Legnilly en Elise Stephenson. Dan hebben we Nederland met Tijmen Vos, met Ege Witterink, met E. Phillips en Nick Dunning. The Czech Republic with Laura Naimanova, with Albert Picherik, with Katerina Bubakova and Vanessa Ingrid Pacina. Team Ireland with Gary Dooley, Robert Russell, Jared Dunlop and Coen Williams. België met Paris van Duselare, Jeff Peters, Louis Lambrecht en Jules de Nutte. En Team Sweden with Karel Hugo Westergren, with Lynn Arvidsson, Mathilde Hansson and Liam Nielsen. Our 6 best teams are going to battle it out. All starting from scratch. Ze starten allemaal dus met een 0 score. VS, Nederland, Tsjechië, Ierland, België en Zweden. Wie kroont zich tot kampioen? Who will win this FEI Jumping Nations Cup final for juniors? Well, that question is going to be answered in the following hour. Die prangende vraag wordt beantwoord in de grote finale der finales tijdens de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final. This is the greatest show indeed. Dames en heren, we tomen ons op voor de finale. We tomen ons op voor de ontknoping van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup voor junioren 2024. Verenigde Staten, Nederland, Tsjechië, Ierland, België en Zweden komen aan zet. Welkom bij het Azel Forge Events. Hier in Lier voor de laatste dag van de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finale 2024. Met veel enthousiasme kijken we er naar uit om vandaag de toekomstige generatie atleten hun talent en teamspirit te zien tonen in de Children, Junioren, Young Riders en Ponies finales. 9 kwalificatiewedstrijden tijdens het seizoen en 2 kwalificatiewedstrijden op donderdag en vrijdag hebben de weg vrijgemaakt voor de beste jeugdteams om te strijden voor nationale glorie hier vandaag in de finale. Teamwork en de unieke band die elk atleet met zijn paard heeft opgebouwd zullen de sleutel zijn om de overwinning mee naar huis te nemen. Jeugd is de hartslag van onze sport en series zoals de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth zijn een unieke kans voor onze reizende sterren om zich te onderscheiden en kunnen de deuren openen naar toekomstige vertegenwoordiging in het internationale senior circuit. Het is dankzij de voortdurende inspanningen van organisatoren zoals Mike Hazenbroek en zijn team en alle vrijwilligers, officials en sponsors dat we onze sport vooruit kunnen helpen. Van alle landen die hier aanwezig zijn, de atleten, hun families en ondersteuning. Wij zijn een fantastische finale dag en veel succes tijdens de FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final voor Juniors 2024.